Hi friends, in last lecture we learned about computer types, and today we are going to learn the basic operational concepts, means how the data is transferred between memory and the processor. Okay, in order to perform a given task, an appropriate program consists of a list of instructions is stored in the memory. So actually program is nothing but a list of instructions which are going to be stored in the memory, and individual instructions are brought from the memory to the processor, which executes the specified operation on the data operands, or also the data operands are also stored in the memory. So each and every instruction in the memory has to be brought into the processor, and the processor executes the specified operation on the data operands. The data operands are also stored in the memory. For example, consider an instruction add location a comma or not. So in this instruction, the processor has to perform the addition operation. Okay, and the data operands are location A. So here location A is the main memory address, and R0 is the general purpose register or processor registers. Okay, so in this instruction, add operation into the memory location A to the operand in the processor register or not. So whatever the data present in the location A, means content of location A is going to be added with the data which is present in the processor register or not. So content of or not. So these two are going to be added, and the final result is going to be stored in the processor register or not. So here location A and or not both are source registers, and R0 is also works as a destination register. Okay. So the final register, either it may be a processor registers or memory location. The final register will be act as both source and destination register. Okay, so in this instruction, so the data in location A, means content of location A and content of processor register or not are going to be added, and the final result is going to be stored in the destination register or not. So these instruction can also be written as like this: load location A comma R1, next add R1 comma R0. See, so in the first instruction, load means data transferring operation has to be done. So here add, load, these are called as opcodes, and location A, R1, R0, these are called the data operands. Okay, in the first instruction, the data which is present in the location A is going to be transferred into the register R1. Okay, so the content of location A. So whatever the data present in location A address is going to be transferred to the register R1. Okay. Next instruction is add R1 comma R0. So here what happened? The content of R1 means the data which is present in register R1 is going to be added with content of R0, and the final result is going to be stored in the R0 register. Here R1 act as a destination register. Here R0 works as both source and destination register. Load means data transferring operation has to be done. In this instruction, location A is the source register or source location, and R1 is the destination register. Next, add R1 comma R0. Here both R1 and R0 are the source registers, and R0 is also works as destination register. Now we will see how these instructions are going to be transferred between memory and the processor. So coming into the processor, in previous lectures we learned the processor contains the control unit and ALU. Along with these two, the processor also contains several registers in order to perform different operations. Okay, so the processor contains control unit, ALU. Along with this, it contains a number of registers used for different purposes. So coming into the first register, IR means instruction register. It holds the instructions that is currently being executed. So the instruction register holds the instructions that is currently being executed. Okay, so its output is available to the control unit, which generates the timing signals. In previous lecture we learned about control unit. So the control units generates the timing signals depending upon the currently executed instructions. So depending on these timing signals, the ALU will perform its necessary operations depending on the instructions. So instruction register. Instruction register. It holds the instructions that is currently being executed. It holds the instructions that is currently being executed, and the instruction register output is going into the control unit. This control unit generates the timing signals. Depending on that timing signals, ALU will perform its necessary operation. Okay. Next register is program counter. Program counter. It is another specialized register. It contains the memory address of the next instruction to be fetched and executed. Instruction register stores the currently executed instructions, and program counter stores the address of next instruction to be fetched and executed. So program counter, it is another special register. It contains the memory the memory address of the next instruction to be fetched and executed. During execution of an instruction, the content of program counter are updated to the corresponding to the address of next instruction to be executed. Besides this, there are n number of general purpose registers from R0 to Rn minus 1. They are used as a storage devices. These general purpose registers are the temporary registers. Okay, so next register is memory address register, MAR, memory address register. It holds the address of the location to be accessed from the memory. Memory address register. It holds the address of the location to be accessed. And the last one is memory data register, MDR. So memory data register, it consists of the data to be written into the memory or read out of the addressed location. So memory data register, it contains the data which is either written into the memory or read out from the addressed memory location. So memory data register, it contains the data to be written into or read out of the addressed location. So here addressed location means the location is either from the memory or from the general purpose registers. Okay. If an instruction involves the operation to be performed by an ALU. If we want to execute an instruction within the ALU, it is necessary to be obtained the required operands. If an operand resides in the memory, the operands may be present within the memory or within the general purpose register. It has to be fetched by sending it address to the MAR register and initiating read cycle. First we have to find out what is the data present in the operands. Okay, so for this operation, the address has to be sent to the MAR during read cycle. Okay, when the operand is loaded from the memory into the MDR register, it is transferred from MDR to the ALU. Okay, so whenever the operand is read from the memory to the MDR, it is transferred from MDR to the ALU. After one or more operands are fetched in this way, the ALU can perform the desired operation. If the result of this operation is stored in the memory, then the result is sent to the MDR register. Okay, so when the ALU operation is completed, the result is first sent to the MDR register during write cycle. After that, the MDR register sends the data to the memory. Next, at some point during execution of the instruction, the content of this program counter or increment, so that the program counter points to the next instruction to be executed. During the execution of current instruction, at some point the program counter will be updated with the next instruction address. And the next case is during execution of a program may be interrupted by some devices. If some devices requires urgent servicing, in order to deal with this situation immediately, the normal execution of current program must be interrupted. To this, the device raises an interrupt signals. So these interrupt request from an IO device to the processor. The processor provides the request service by executing an appropriate interrupt service routine. Means in these situations, first the processor must stores the content of program counter and general purpose registers, and some control information are stored into some temporary memory. So when during a normal execution of a program, so some devices requires some urgent servicing. In that situations, the processor first stores the program counter information and general purpose information and some control signal informations of currently executed program are stored in the some temporary memory. What information? Program counter information and general purpose registers information and some control signal information of currently executed program must be stored into the some temporary register or some temporary memory. After storing these information into some temporary memory, then the interrupt service routine is completed and the state of the processor is stored so that the interrupt program may continue. After the execution of interrupted program, the processor must restore the program counter, general purpose registers and some control signals information from temporary memory into processor, and then it executes the program which has to be stopped. For example, consider program 1. So now the processor is executing the program 1. So when during the execution of third instruction, the processor gets the request from the program 2, an interrupt request from an IO device. During this time, the processor must stop the execution of program 1 and it stores the information of program counter, general purpose registers and control signal information into the temporary memory. So these information related to the program 1. And next, the program counter is updated with the address of first instruction in program 2, and the processor starts the execution of second program. So this second program is called the subprogram or interrupt service routine. After the complete execution of this subprogram, then the processor has to stores the information of program 1. That is, so program counter, general purpose registers and control signal information from temporary memory into the processor. Now the processor starts the execution from third instruction after the complete execution of subprogram. Okay, so this is the basic operational concepts between how the instructions are transferred from memory and between memory and processor. Okay, so with this we completed this lecture. In next class we will learn about bus structures. So which type of buses are used for transferring addresses, data and control signals. For transferring address we are having address bus. For transferring data we are having data bus, and for transferring control signals we are having the control bus. We will discuss this in next lecture. Thank you.